just wanted to echo the same sentiment that one of my favorite shirts actually is, there's a famous shirt where there's different Native American chiefs on with guns, and it says fighting terrorism since 1492. And it's to point out that the real, the very existence of the United States of America is founded on genocide. It's founded on stolen land, and the continuing, existence of this country is founded on actual, real, material, pillaging of many nations, third world nations, from where many of us come from, and specifically, I want to point out that Korea has one of the 810 bases that the United States has around the world. And my country and my own family history results directly from the U.S. intervention in South Korea. And how families entire families have been divided and separated for the last 60-odd years. It's the only one of the few places where the Cold War still exists, right? Where there's this border that's been created by superpowers, countries, including the United States, where our people had no voice. And it is the existence of these kinds of bases, it's the existence of these kinds of history and the continuing history of the United States intervening in our lands that continues to force our people to migrate here, to migrate elsewhere, for survival. And so, just to recognize that this country, the people are here, none of them have come here because this is the land of the opportunity and the rich. We're not immigrants, we're here because there is an exact material reason for it, because the U.S. goes around meddling and screwing over our homelands. And so we need to connect that, and I think it's really important for us to understand and also realize that there are entire nations within the United States that are oppressed, right? The indigenous nation, the First Nations people in Canada, the Chicano nation, the Black nation, in the southern Black Belt, and and to recognize and to understand that there's oppressed peoples and oppressed nations within the United States that are also fighting and are continuing to ask for reparations, for Black people and for indigenous folks, asking for the liberation of our lands, for our communities not to be poisoned by the same industries and corporations that benefited off of pillaging our homelands. So I think it's, we have every right to mirror, and I think that the idea of we're the land of immigrants, we're the land of opportunity needs to be really dispelled if we want to have any kind of advancement in the whole immigration and the apartheid, debate. Thank you.